Oh, hello everybody. The next lesson we're going to do is DL16. So the factoring special binomials. So we have a total of three special binomials. We're going to talk one at a time. So your today homework is it's called the difference of squares. So the difference is a subtraction. So something like this. So it's a squared minus b squared. So remember there can be two binomial factors. So you always want to write it the perfect square. So first of all, this special case is only good for subtraction. So if there is something like this, a squared plus b squared, that is a prime. So keep in mind, this is only good for the difference of squares. So now the rule is when you write factors, it doesn't matter how you write it. So is the first base plus the second base, well then another one is first base minus the second base, and you're done. So it doesn't matter which one you write first. So it's a minus b times a plus b or a plus b times a minus b. But make sure you write those, it must be minus in the middle here, and these must be perfect squares. And if there's a perfect square, the number, how you find the base, you can always take a square root. But if somebody asks you, is 25 is a perfect square? Yes. What is the base? What is square root of 25 is a 5. So how do you find the base? You take the square root. So here is a quick example. So for example, somebody asks you this. Factor x squared minus 25. It is a binomial. Well, first thing is you want to look is must be minus here. If it's a plus here, that is a prime. So you cannot factor the sum with a plus there. So this is a perfect square. Write as a perfect square. So 25 is a perfect square. What is the base? The square root of 25 is 5. So that's, look, a squared minus b squared. So now the answer is going to be binomial times binomial is always the first base plus the second and first base minus the second. So it's a plus b times a minus b, and that's it. And again, you can write x minus 5 first. It does not matter because when you multiply 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. So here is one more. So it's a factor. Let's say we have x squared y squared minus 36. So now it is a binomial. So can we apply the special case? Yes. So this is minus here. 36 is perfect square. This is also perfect square. From here the base is xy. So you can write this way too. Xy squared, that's your a squared, minus 6 squared. That's your a squared minus b squared. So which is, write two parentheses like this. So is the first base minus, I'm going to write minus this one. So it doesn't matter which one you write first. So the first base minus the second. So if you use minus here, this means the second one must be plus. And that's it. So that's how you factor the square, the difference of squares. Let me show you a couple of more examples. And keep in mind, if there's a plus, so keep in mind it will be a prime. There is one more, it's a factor. For example, 64 x squared minus 81 y squared. Can we apply the special case? The first thing you look is it must be minus here. Yes. So now here is a 64 is a perfect square. X is, so this is a perfect square. This is also a perfect square. But write as a perfect square. What is square root of 64? Is 8. X. So this is your a square. Make sure to write the square outside. Minus the square root of 81 is 9. Y is also perfect square, so that is your a squared minus b squared. What is the first base? 8x. What is second base? 9y. So what the answer is going to be then? A plus b times a minus b. So is the first base plus the second base, and the first base minus the second base, and that's your answer. A plus b times a minus b. Again, if you want to write as a minus b times a plus b, that's okay too. So let me show you maybe one or two more examples. Here is one. Well, for example, sometimes they give you here 100 minus 49 y squared. Okay, so you can pause and try it, and then I can do it. Okay, so here is 100. Can you minus? Yes, it must be minus here. We can factor. So it could be perfect square. So now we'll say, oh, is 100 is perfect square? Yes. Is 49 is perfect square? Y is perfect? Yes. So this means we can factor using the special case. So let's try it as a perfect square first. So 100 is a 10 square. Base is 10 minus. Oh, there's two factors here, 49 and y. Make sure you use the parentheses squared outside 7y. So that's your base. So 7 squared is 49 and y squared. So the first base is 10. The second base is 7y. So write two parentheses like this. So now is the first base plus the second base. And the other factor is the first base minus the second base. So it's a plus b times a minus b. Let me show you one more. I think you should be able to do it. So your homework is just like 10 problems. You should be able to find. Let me show you one last one. And for example, here's one more. It's a factor. Let's say we have about 36 minus 9x squared. Okay, so is it binomial? Yes. Is it minus in the middle? Yes. So far so good. So now to apply the special case, it must be a minus here, and they both must be perfect square. It must be a binomial. So we're saying is a special binomials. So is it 36 is perfect square? Yes. What is square root of 36? 6 square. It is a perfect square. Minus, very important, use the parentheses because there's a two factor, 9 and x. So what is square root of 9? Is it 3? So x must be inside, so the 3x squared, it gives us, so that is the base. So base is 6, the base is 3x. So now write two parentheses like this. So what is the first base? 6 plus, what is second base? 3x. So now repeat it. First base minus second base. And that's the answer. A plus b times a minus b. If somebody want to write minus first, that's fine. But one must be minus, one must be plus. Okay, so that should be, that should do it to finish your homework number 16. So please keep working hard. Most of you doing great. So keep it up. Thank you. We'll see you next time.